Ladies and gentlemen, now hopefully you're all doing well. I just want to sit down today and give you guys a bit of a proper update on the future of this channel and some of the games and stuff that I'm currently interested in, because we did some videos over the Christmas period covering the initial previews for Black Clover and also Full Metal Alchemist, and we got like a little bit more on both of the games. But I just want to like very clearly say that Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross, I have zero interest in playing that game further. I've watched like all of the developments, all of the updates quite closely for the last year and a bit, man, and it's just been dog shit. Like, I'm literally convinced that they've stripped down the development of that game to a skeleton crew, and they've moved like all of the funding, all of the profits into Seven Deadly Sins Origin. Like, I haven't played that game for like, I would say, I think it's been about nearly over a year now. And I think the only significant content is like the two demonic beasts. And there's still been like literally like 3 years after the JPKR launch, no significant revamp, to the best of my knowledge, to the PvP systems. And that was always my big thing, the core of the game. There's been like some cool new characters and some really nice animations, but like it's just so, you know, for a returning player's perspective, it's like, you got to get the characters, you got to 6-star super awaken them, get the relics, get 6 out of 6 cosmetics, upgrade those cosmetics. It's just like, I don't give a shit, man. Like, the game's, I feel just a shell of what it used to be in terms of the development updates and frequency. So yeah, I just don't really have any interest at all in Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross. And My Hero, the Strongest Hero, I actually played that for a little bit last Christmas during my free time, man, just for a little bit of fun, because I really enjoyed the latest My Hero movie, and I played around with the movie characters. But again, that has the same problem of, I fundamentally love the combat engine, I love how that game plays. But like, it's got a skeleton crew actually working on the game, and I want to play a game that has active development, that is pushing out tons of content, and really has that goal and ambition to be like the best anime game out there. And I didn't get that feeling with My Hero. I didn't get that feeling with Seven Deadly Sins, and it just gets to the point where the content just dries up really, really quickly, and it just becomes a little bit stale and boring for me. So the games that I'm looking at, because again, I want to try out everything, man. I want to play stuff. Seven Deadly Sins Origin. We got to talk about this bad boy right here. My God, dude. Literally, as soon as I saw this trailer, I was like, that's where the money's gone. Like, that is where all the Grand Cross money has gone. It's straight into this bad boy here. Like, it looks absolutely phenomenal. The thing that like gives me the biggest tingles in this trailer is when, like, what was it? It's like Meliodas backflips that attack from Gallant, and it's just like the level of detail on this combat. The fact that Gallant brings down like the trees and just the falling animations and this kind of destructible environment, and then also in the wider scale of the Seven Deadly Sins story, this is like, like the little bit at the start of season 1 in terms of content. And there's so much crazy stuff that can happen with all of the commandments, the open world, the events of season 3, the events of season 4 as well. And it's like, if they pull this off to a level where the combat is just incredibly smooth and satisfying, there is so much depth to all the characters, customization. There are several engaging game modes that you want to play kind of on a daily and weekly basis. And I think Seven Deadly Sins Origin like is gonna be the game that potentially can flip Genshin Impact, because Genshin Impact, it's just been on top. It's been absolutely dominating, but I never really got like deeply into Genshin. But like, honestly, man, Seven Deadly Sins Origin, the potential with all of the characters in the Seven Deadly Sins universe, and all of the villains, all of the bosses, and crazy stuff that they can do, even kind of importing some of the demons, and maybe as well some of the collaborations that we've seen in Grand Cross. Like, what's to say that Attack on Titan couldn't make an appearance or do a collaboration with Origin? If they've already done that with Grand Cross, I don't see why it couldn't be any different. And if it was done really well, like imagine you've just got this massive Titan and you've got like, you know, Eren and Meliodas, and you got to like scale this bad boy, like Meliodas' scale on the mountain and take him down. Dude, Origin, like it has so much potential if it's done right. But you know, there is that one logo in the corner that gives me, you know, potential doubts. So yeah, it's mental. It's mental like what this game could potentially be, and by for that reason, like Seven Deadly Sins Origin is the game I am most excited for. But the thing is, with Seven Deadly Sins Origins, I'm very excited for that game, but it's not available right now. We've probably got hopefully another like, you know, 9 to 12 months before the game releases. Might be a little bit earlier, might be a little bit later, but it's a very long time. And I'm dying to like get in, get super sweaty, man, get addicted to something and lose all of my money on the gacha. And Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds is a game that's been out in Japan and Korea for about 2 years now. It's also owned by our glorious Netmarble overlords. Just can't escape those lads. But yeah, hopefully this is going to be a really good global release. Again, there's so much content in this game in terms of like endgame bosses, world bosses. There's lots of different modes of PvP and like so many different modes of gameplay as well. So it's got like this massive, massive backlog of content that is significantly bigger than what Seven Deadly Sins had at global release. So yeah, I'm curious as to how they're going to kind of like layer out that release schedule and how far behind global is going to be from the Korean or Japanese version. But again, it works in like a very different gacha system where there's like no character banners. So yeah, it's really only going to be like certain content, gacha systems, upgrades, and maybe like mini games as well, like fishing, for example. That come out at later dates. But yeah, I'm very interested to see kind of what they launch with the global version of this after playing the Korean version, because yeah, it is really fun to play around with, and I love the engineer class, man. I'm probably gonna make engineer on the global version, just because like we did a big video on this if you want to see some gameplay, and also toward the end of it I get absolutely wrecked, so hopefully that's going to be something of enjoyment. But yeah, this game's really cool, man, and the PC client runs amazingly, and I would imagine on the newer iPhones as well, is going to run really, really well. So yeah, this is definitely something for like anime fans, especially if you grew up on like Studio Ghibli movies, that I think is just like, it's a really chill game, like very fun to play around with. And again, for all of us gacha addicts, man, this is like gacha on top of gacha on top of gacha. There is so much gacha in it, and some people are going to hate that, but some people, like myself, gambling addicts, are really gonna, you know, get the kick from it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to you know, playing the global version and doing lots of videos on that game kind of in the short term future on this channel. And then we also have Black Clover Mobile. I've heard just through the grapevine rumors that this has been like delayed in terms of development a little bit and might not be releasing till like next year. But Black Clover, dude, I love Black Clover so much. Me and the missus actually in the last few months we've been rewatching it, and my mind has been like exploding with the potential of like all of the characters that they can add into this game, because there's so much flavor and there's so much versatility in terms of like the characters' powers and spells and move sets, that I really think if this game is done well, it can really be something that is just like so enjoyable. But right now we know so little about kind of the combat, the modes of gameplay, and exactly how everything functions. But the IP, the brand of Black Clover, all the characters they have access to, literally like hundreds of very interesting characters, and just like so much story to kind of like take this game through multiple content updates. So yeah, there's a lot they can do with this game. I'm really excited for this one, but like, is it going to be good though? That is the big question. But Black Clover Mobile, as soon as that comes out, man, very interested to whale hard and explore that one quite significantly. And then I was watching this review from Globku on the Full Metal Alchemist mobile game, and this is a bit more of like a turn-based, tile-based strategy progression, puzzle style game, and this could be good. I feel like I was really hoping this would be like a fighting game, kind of in the style of Marvel Contest of Champions. Potentially, though, if the combat's done right, I find with like puzzle games and games like this that are very heavily strategy based, it's really hard to tell if you're going to enjoy the game or if it's going to be a good game to kind of watch and like do content on until you actually like play the game itself, because like you can't really get an appreciation for the strategy in the game, how the game plays, until you play it yourself and you understand kind of the core elements of what's going on, and also all the characters play as well. But I think this one, it's definitely got some interesting potential. But I would say, in comparison to like Black Clover, Seven Deadly Sins, and also Nino Kuni, I'm just not really like that excited for it. So yeah, we'll see. I really hope that changes, and I hope it becomes something that when I pick up and play, I'm just absolutely infatuated with. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how much I enjoy this game when it does come out, because the gameplay, it does visually look a little bit more disappointing. But again, with this stuff, like sometimes you can just get your hands on it and can be like, wow, this is actually really, really good. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this one plays. But yeah, just a little bit of an update about the future of this channel and kind of what stuff like I'm really interested in moving forward. I think Seven Deadly Sins Origin, if it releases with a really meaty game, but also Netmarble decide to actually not fire 90% of their development team, then this game like is just going to absolutely consume everything. I think it's going to dominate the entire space. And I'm really excited for it, man. It looks so much fun to play. Like the combat just looks like next level in comparison to any sort of like anime fighting game that we have out there at the moment. So yeah, I'm buzzing for it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts and what you're excited for in the comment section below. Thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.
You are not subscribed to the whale sin of spending? Who decided that? Subscribe now, or enjoy the bitter taste of regret.